Hi everyone and welcome. Today's video is going to cover some review for our 2.1 to 2.3 quiz that's coming up either Thursday or Friday of this week, depending on if you are green or blue. So we're just going to go through a couple quick examples of each type of question that you're going to see and hopefully give you a good starting point so that way you know where to start with procedures and how to show that full professional work product for each of the types of questions. So let's start off with our first type of example from 2.1, which is going through and solving multi-step equations. So the first thing, let's have that algebra line to show balance on the left and right. Make sure we do the same thing on both sides. We also want to make sure that we are carefully going through and again showing each step as we do it. So we get negative 12 and positive 12, that gets us 0, and then we're left with 35 on the right side after adding. And then we're to our final step here, dividing by 7 on both sides to get x equals 5. So again, we're in a good place here. We're showing all of our steps, and that's exactly what we're looking for in a question like this. Next, checking solutions. So skipping ahead to question number 3. On a question like this, it's our goal to go through and make sure that there is balance. So given the solution that we're given, we want to see is, do we have balance? Do we have equal weight on both sides? So we'll end up here plugging in the term that we're given for the variable that's given there. So our goal after doing this is to do some PEMDAS and to see, is the final statement that we're given true or is it false? Well, in this case, 26 does equal 26, so we can say that x equals 18 is a solution. It does work. We did it. If it was anything other than 26, though, if it was like 17 equals 26, well, 17 doesn't equal 26, that would not be a solution. That would not maintain balance. All right, next skill set, I'm going to go on to 2.2. Here's some fractions and some distributive property type questions here. So we learned about the reciprocal for the first time. So again, still algebra line to show balance. We're still wanting to get that variable by itself. So we're left with 3 over 4x equals 9. So remember, for the reciprocals, we take our fractional coefficient and we flip it. So in this case, we'll get 4 over 3. So we want to multiply both sides of this equation by 4 over 3. We'll be left with 12 over 12x on the left, and we'll end up with 36 over 3x on the right. Not x, just sorry, 36 over 3. So 12 divided by 12 is just 1, so we have x there, and then 36 divided by 3 gives us 12. So we have our answer of x equals 12. So that worked for us. So again, remember the reciprocal, remember to flip our numerator and denominator and multiply both sides, all of the terms in the equation, by that. All right, another example here with the distributive property. We want to multiply everything inside of the parentheses by the number that's on the outside. So we're left with 12x minus 36 equals 108. We can add 36 to both sides. We'll be left with 12x equals 144. And then last step, just like we've been doing, get that variable alone. We'll get x equals 12 here. So again, same careful steps as 2.1 of showing balance on both sides. The only additional skill here is with the distributive property multiplying both terms. So 2.2, we had some distributive properties, we had some reciprocal type questions. Now let's go on to 2.3, where we were working with our least common denominator and fraction questions. So let's actually skip ahead to, let's say, example number 3. So we have our variable here by itself, but we're seeing we have some uncommon or different denominators. So we have 5 and 20 on the bottom. So we have to list out our multiples and see when we get some common multiples. So looking right away, we can see that actually 5 does go into 20. So that's going to be what we use for our denominator at the bottom of the fraction. So we have to convert everything over to that common denominator of 20. So 5 times 4 is 20. So keep balance. We got to multiply by 1. So 4 over 4. So we'll get 16 over 20 right here. So 16 over 20 plus v equals, and then 41 over 20. It's already good to go. It already has 20 as its denominator, so no changes needed there. So subtract on both sides, and we'll be left with v equals, and then 41 minus 16. So again, on a question like this, we don't want to make a silly mistake, so take the time, make sure that you are checking your work. We did the hard part already, so let's make sure addition or subtraction aren't the things that get us confused here. So we're left with 25 over 20 once we do 41 minus 16. So that would be our answer to that question fully. We can leave that as an improper fraction, and that's totally fine. So for the rest of this page, our goal is to make sure that everything here does have a common denominator. If you're left with a number like 4, remember that its denominator is 1. It's just hidden there. So for a lot of these questions like this, again, they just have hidden denominators of 1, and we will need to convert them to common denominators before we can go ahead and solve. A quick reminder with mixed numbers, we multiply and then add. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, so that is actually equal to negative 4 over 3 for that one. So a quick hint for you there as well. All right, so here are some quiz type questions. Let me know if you have any trouble working through these. Again, email, remind message, any of those things to reach out. We are here to answer questions, and I will see you in class very soon. Thanks for watching.